Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Donald J. Trump has entered the chat. And guess what? Hamas just got the warning of a lifetime. That's right. Trump basically said, y'all got one last chance before all hell breaks loose. And when Trump says that, ooh, you know it's about to get spicy. Oh, you can almost hear Hamas whispering, uh-oh, we done messed up. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is in the White House like, wait, we're doing what now? Kamala, did you get a memo on this? And we got Biden fumbling through papers. Where's my ice cream? And why is Trump still talking? Now, let's be real. Hamas is known for ignoring ultimatums like vegans ignore barbecues. But this time, Trump ain't Biden. This is the guy who dropped the mother of all bombs and made world leaders sweat harder than a preacher in a nightclub.
If all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. I think it's terrible. Look, I looked at the hostages that came in, and they're emaciated. It looked like something out of the 1930s. It's an absolute disgrace. And I think they saw the way the world viewed it, and they're looking for a reason not to send more because they're all. You take a look at that. It looked like it was a concentration camp, which essentially it was. It looks like they came out of the Holocaust, and what a sad thing. One of them was a young man, good-looking guy, a little bit heavier than perhaps he could have been, and now he looks like he's not even recognizable. Not even recognizable.
Is the ceasefire deal at risk of falling apart?
Look, I can tell you that those people have been badly hurt, both mentally and physically. I'm talking about the young women that came out also previously. And I think one of the reasons they're doing this is because they're probably sending the best. What you see is probably the best because they want to send people that look at least healthy. And that's not healthy. These people have been badly hurt. They've been interviewed by our representatives. They've been interviewed by Israeli representatives. And they're really hurting. They are really hurting mentally and physically. And I think Hamas is looking at that and saying, well, it's not going to get much better than that because they probably send out their best as a representative. And they've got more to send out. And they probably feel that they can't do that because it's not going to make them look very good.
Is the ceasefire delay that, sir? Should the ceasefire then be off?
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that because that's Israel's decision, but as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do. I mean, the one guy was laughing when a hostage he thought his family was alive, found out the family was dead, and his captor, so to speak, started laughing because he thought it was so funny. You know, this is a different group of people. No, I would say Saturday at 12, we want them all back. I'm speaking for myself. Israel can override it, but from myself, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and if they're not here, all hell is going to break out.
I mean, when Trump says, hey, all hell is about to break out, he doesn't mean a Twitter rant. He means real action. Biden threatens with strongly worded letters. Trump? He threatens with things that go boom. Oh, and of course, the mainstream media is in full meltdown mode. CNN is running in circles like Trump is too aggressive. He's going to start World War III. Meanwhile, MSNBC is holding a candlelight vigil for Hamas, and the View ladies are screaming into the void like it's an exorcism. Trump is so mean. Why can't he just send them a fruit basket and ask nicely? Sorry, ladies, but Trump doesn't do nice when terrorists are involved.
This morning, Israel and its American allies reeling in outrage by the emaciated state of 3 Israeli hostages released after nearly 500 days in captivity by Hamas terrorists in Gaza. And they're now barely recognizable. In a final act of humiliation, Hamas forcing one of them to speak, laughing at his excitement to see his family, while unaware his family were all murdered on October 7th. Israel's ambassador to the UN is demanding the UN condemn Hamas for war crimes. Ambassador Danon joins us now. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. I have to ask you, when you first saw these 3 men emerge from captivity, what was the first thing you thought when you saw them?
Good morning. I was shocked. I was shocked because for more than a year, we heard the claims that there is starvation in Gaza. But the real starvation is the starvation of the hostages. You know, when we saw the faces of the hostages, you know, it looked like that they came out from a concentration camp. You know, those images showed us the brutality of Hamas. And I think today we got a reminder with whom we are dealing. And you showed the picture of Eli Sharabi, who, you know, he was praying every day to come back and meet his families. And when he came back, he found out that his wife, his 2 teenage daughters, and his brother were massacred on October 7th. So we know with whom we are dealing, and we are determined to continue the fight and to finish the job. We have no other option to eliminate Hamas. That is the only answer when we see those images coming out of Gaza.
So, you know, obviously we're so glad to have the hostages back, every single one of them. But it does, you know, make you wonder, what price are we paying to get hostages back? And my question to you is this. You know, is there some part of this ceasefire deal which prevents Israel from interviewing the hostages who have been returned and finding out that, in fact, war crimes were committed by Hamas during their captivity, and then going back and punishing Hamas for committing war crimes?
Well, I just came back from Washington. I spent a few days with the Prime Minister. And we know that this deal is not a perfect one, but we're doing our best to bring back as many hostages alive. But I can guarantee you, we will hunt down those savages. We will make sure that they will pay the price for what they did on October 7th and what they are doing as we speak to the hostages. We have dozens of hostages, and we know about the starvation, the sexual assault, the tortures. They will pay the price. We will find them, and we will kill them.
Ambassador Danon, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Look, at the end of the day, Trump laid it out plain and simple. Hamas needs to hand over those hostages, or else they're going to see what all hell breaking loose really means. And let's be honest, they should be more scared of Trump than Biden. Because let's face it, Biden would probably forget the ultimatum by breakfast. What do you guys think? Is Trump about to shake up the Middle East again? Will Hamas listen, or will they play dumb? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we're bringing you the real talk with maximum humor.